Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome back to another Black Library review. This time The Black-Eyed Saint by Dale Lucas. So sorry for the lighting because I wasn't able to put up my lights as of yet. So sorry for the weird lighting. Yes, but the book, the third story in the Murghast series. And this is one of the better series I've read as of yet. Sadly, it's only going to be 4 entries, so only one novel is left, and this makes me sad. So this time the story is Tiberius and Runa, so our Sigmarite priest and the sharpshooter, or the mercenary type, who is quite infatuated with the lady Gothgul, Adria. And so these two have quite an interesting journey in this book because, well, Tiberius as a Sigmarite priest, a pious man, a faithful man, and Runa as the more down-to-earth guy. He has no real faith, he does not believe, he knows that Sigma is a thing and that he exists because the gods in the Age of Sigma do exist. and but still he's, yeah, well, as I've said, down to earth and more like, if Sigma is benevolent, why isn't he here? Why doesn't he help us? And so on. And yeah, the story begins with both of them are out, are hunting, and while on their hunt, they hear a scream. And this scream comes from a woman who's being chased by a madman, and well, he tries to kill her. So our two heroes come to her aid because they see a woman in dire need of aid. And so they kill the man, rescue the woman, and well, they bring her back to Gothgul Castle. There she's being examined, and there we get to see, first of all, the consequences of the second novel and of the first novel, which is pretty great. I love to see consequences in series, and this is just another really good example because Lord Gothgul is still injured, and well, at this time, this is not a spoiler anymore, Genevieve is back. And like in all of her 4 novels, Genevieve is basically blink it and you miss it. Oh, this made me chuckle as her involvement in this story because it's not really that much. It's maybe about 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, I don't know. It's too funny. I really loved it. But I'm excited for more because, oh, this opens up so many possibilities. And you can bet that I will continue my series with the Etheric Void videos as soon as book 4 is out, because I have some theories even after this book. And yeah, well, back to the story. Tiberius picks up the woman to bring her to bed because he's the only one strong enough for her, I don't know. And well, the woman whispers something which makes him really confused. And Runa is the only one who really saw that something's wrong with Tiberius. And this is the point in which the story already gets interesting. I believe this is chapter 1 or at least early chapter 2. I already forgot, I'm sorry. But you know that something is wrong with this woman. And yeah, well, we're right. Because she's kinda mad. she hums to herself, but she tells that she's coming from a village. The village has a plague or a curse, and so we have our two heroes. We have the apothecary who, well, examined her, and two other sellswords who work for Lord Gothgul to go to this village, assess the situation, and if in need, send for help. Because it's only a 2-day ride away or something like this. Oh yes, a 2-day ride. And so on their way to this village, the woman is behaving in really odd ways. And at first you think, oh, okay, maybe she saw many terrible things and doesn't know what happened yet. And as soon as they arrive in this village, everything seems abandoned, like they were on a rush. Something terrible happened here. The fog is dense, you can't see anything after 10 meters away. So pretty much Silent Hill, which I love. Not Silent Hill, yes, of course, I love Silent Hill. But the whole setting of this village is amazing. And so they're being attacked by fellbats, they're being attacked by can wraiths, and they have to defend themselves, of course, but they get aided from a few of the villagers. It's the Duke and some normal folk, and the Duke is just 16 years old because the father died, the sister is gone, and he's the last one in the family line. So he's the one who has to keep things running. But at this point, you know something is up. Because as soon as they're in, well, safe spaces and nothing really happens, but the story evolves more and more and you get to know the characters more and more, you really have the feeling something is wrong. And I love how Dale Lucas just plays with your expectations and with certain tropes into which, oh yes, this is it. A few moments later, you just think to yourself, damn it, it's not that. But I loved it. So I was really happy with the majority of this book, how the story evolved. And the whole backstory for this curse, for this plague, is great. And well, we get to hear Murgast again, so there is something up. Something Murgast has a connection to the Gothgul family, and to Tiberius and to Runa. But what? We still don't know. And this makes it so interesting. There are so many hints here and there. And I have a feeling, but I don't want to talk about it as of right now. I have to let it sink a little bit, maybe later or with the fourth novel. But we get the backstory from the Duke, so from the 16-year-old Duke, what happened to the village and how fast this fog and the curse plague thingy came, because our heroes thought that this took over weeks. But no, it was 4 days. In 4 days, they had to abandon the village. Basically, the majority of people died or went mad. And yeah, this was very, very intriguing. Also, the villain. I don't know what the villain is. I don't know if it's a demon. I don't know if it's a chaos sorcerer. I have no idea. And this is refreshing, because all the time in this story, I was thinking about, what is this? What is the enemy? What is the grand evil plot point in this story? And I still don't know. And this is great. I love this. Still, I have my theory, and this is another reason for Genevieve. I don't want to spoil it here. You can go back to my Genevieve reviews and listen to them. Then you might have an inkling of what my theory is. That it is an enemy of her past. But it's a specific enemy of her past, because she had quite a few. This is so good, as this opens up again so many possibilities, and this feels like it has repercussions for the Age of Sigmar plotline, and not only for this series. Because first of all, as with Genevieve being back, this is pretty much a Gotrek thing, that a great being came back from the old world, and with pretty much godlike powers. But Genevieve being Genevieve, she's not going to do much. But great. And so we get to know the story of Tiberius, how he became a Sigmarite priest, what he has done in his past, his sin, the one thing he's carrying with him through all of his career, through all of his life. This made me so sad. Dale Lucas, oh, excellent. It was really, really good. And how it is utilized in the story is also really good. So this series, the Murga series as a whole, even though it has been written by 3 different authors as of right now, you can give this to someone who has no idea about Age of Sigmar, and the person can still enjoy it, because the gods are pretty much not being explained, but you get the idea that they are real. Then, yes, it's very hot. That's why you can see my dog being out of breath back there. But the realm Shaiish, it's kind of being explained and also great, but the whole story is condensed in itself, but still has, as I've said, repercussions for the greater Age of Sigmar storyline. Hopefully, they can use this. They have to use this because there are characters who have great power. And with that comes a great responsibility. Sorry, I had to use that. But yeah, the one thing which made me really annoyed was the fight scenes. I'm sorry, the majority of them are okay. They aren't too long. They are short, snappy, and good. But the more you get to the ending, the end, the last 2 chapters are just basically fighting. The setting is great. What happens is great. It's just too long. Maybe it's 1.5 chapters, but still it's too long. I have to admit, I fell asleep in the last chapter as the fighting just was being stretched out. It was just like too less butter on too much toast. It felt thin. But still, what happened is great. I really, really loved it. And everything that happened, and well, what will happen in book 4, I'm really excited for this. And one of my favorite things in all of the Black Library publications is the theological discussions. So I told you in the beginning, Sigmarite priest, pious believer. Mercenary, sharpshooter, science guy. And so, of course, they have a theological discussion. And unlike in the 40k storyline, this has something else with it. Not only because the gods are real, because the Emperor in 40k is not a god. Get it out of your mind. The Chaos gods are not really gods. They are beings of pure emotion. Just ask Dan Abnett, he told it. And yeah, but here belief has another thing as in 40k. This makes it another great discussion in my mind. Because I don't know why, but I have many theological discussions in real life, and I don't know why. But yeah, I digress. Great book, great story, too much fighting at the end, great repercussions, and Genevieve. So, all in all, I give this an 8 out of 10 cursed villagers in Silent Hill. I'm really happy with this. I can't wait for the last book in the Murghast series, and I'm just excited for it. But what are your thoughts on The Black-Eyed Saint by Dale Lucas? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. If you want to support the channel and you don't know what to say, just write Genevieve in the comments, because then she has more screen time than in the book. Sorry, I had to do it. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! I talk more about Genevieve than she appears in this book.